my research is going to be talking about understanding the relationship between the local and global digital economy and its social impact in Mexico. So I'm going to kick this off by talking about why Mexico. So let's talk first about the low labor cost. I know it's not the major thing and the major attraction point for outsourcing, but it remains like a highly preferable point. So in Mexico, the minimum wage is around $7 per work day, and even though if it's a 15% increase in Mexico's minimum wage from 2020, outsourcing cost is still like way lesser than it is in North America. Let's also talk about the trade treaties. Now, Mexico is part of a lot of trade treaties at the moment, and it's part of the NAFTA treaty. It's part of the Japan Mexico Free Trade Agreement and the North American Free Trade Agreement, and the EU Mexico Free Trade Agreement. Like in total, it's part of 12 free trade agreements with over 46 countries around the world. And this would be this would make it available for the companies who want to outsource to reduce or eliminate transportation tariffs. Also, there's the infrastructure, which is very important. So in Mexico, the infrastructure is way better than other countries in Latin America, and the Mexican government is working on a progressive infrastructure plan for transportation, IT, and energy projects. In 2020, it announced a budget of over $14 billion for strengthening Mexico's infrastructure. And the last point, which is in my opinion the most important point, which is the skills talented pool. So the Mexican government has put education at the center of its efforts, and the World Economic Forum stated that this effort has increased the Mexican STEM graduates from 15% in 2005 to 25% in 2012. Sorry. And thanks to the government's efforts, the country now has a huge pool of resources who are well versed in technology. Now let's talk about how the maquiladoras happened. So maquiladoras basically means the factories. So those factories were the source of outsourcing. This is how outsourcing started. So it's a company which allows factories to run in another company. For example, a lot of companies in the U.S. were establishing factories in Mexico near the U.S.-Mexico border due to the low labor cost and duty-free and tariff-free. So those factories would take the materials and they would put them together and manufacture them in Mexico and then export them back to the U.S. So the maquiladoras originated around 1960s, and it really helped boost up the country's economy, and it really is the origin of outsourcing as it is. So now let's talk about the law reforms. So Mexico is usually known as like the top outsourcing destination in Latin America, but lately something has been changing. So in April 2021, a new tax law and labor law was enacted, and this means that a lot of outsourcing, like the outsourcing of workers, is now prohibited. So a lot of critics and experts said that Mexico has changed its outsourcing rules, and this, of course, will have a huge impact on the companies that hire subcontractors and on the country's economy. So those outsourcing regulations aim at bringing more workers into Mexico's formal economy and to reclaim the rights of workers who have not received adequate protection as subcontractors. So